Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tania and I've been a little bit absent for a while, and the reason for that, although I did upload a video last week, but that was like a pre-recorded one. Here's something that we prepared earlier type of situation. I've been a little bit off lately, I'm not gonna lie. It's I don't know what it is. I turned 50 recently and I just wanted it to be unnoticed, you know what I mean? And it's not because I'm 50 now. I don't give a crap about the fact that I'm 50, because I feel the same now as I did, you know, a year ago, for example. So I don't know, I've had a bit of an off time lately. I've had a hard time lately. I've been trying to come to terms with some things. I've been sort of, you know, trying to juggle acceptance of certain things, and sometimes life throws you these curveballs, right? Anyway, so that's sort of like the reason why I have been quiet lately. And you know, it's interesting when you're quiet, who notices and who reaches out. And I have to say thank you to some of you, and you know who you are. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and saying, hey, you okay? What's happening? You've been quiet lately, what's going on? And I know it's not necessarily because of, you know, the bags and what I'm showing or anything like that, but I know that some of you genuinely care, and that means a lot to me. So thank you for that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. A lot has happened and not much has happened at the same time, if that makes sense. So it's one of those conundrums of life. Anyway, let me get on with today's video. So today's video will be me returning to a series I started last year, I think, and that was my bag story videos. So today's video will be about my gorgeous little red Balenciaga Mini City. I adore this bag so much. And I think I don't use her as much because I don't want to cause too much wear and tear on this bag. This is a pre-loved bag, and I purchased this, I think, back in 2018, going back a while now. And there was a little bit of drama around the purchasing of this bag. So I love this bag. I love all my bags. All my bags have a story behind them, and that's what makes them so special to me. Just like we all have things that we have, that we own, that we buy, that we love, that we come by, that are given to us, that have a story. My bags all have a story behind them. Some stories are less significant than others, but nevertheless, they all have a story. So this is my beautiful deep red. It's actually more of a blue blood red as opposed to orange. It's looking a little bit orange on my screen. You know, it's funny, I say that, and then when I play back, I think, no, that's the right color. So I think it's just got something to do with the lighting. But anyway, this is the Balenciaga Mini City. This is a pre-loved one, and I bought this in 2018 from memory. And even then, it was a couple of years old. So it is the beautiful sort of crinkly leather like that. It's got the silver giant, no, this is not giant, it's just got the standard hardware. It's got the little zip here across the front. I do have the mirror that comes with it, but I just tend to keep the mirror inside the front pocket there like that. And this leather is superb. Can I just say that there's not much that rivals the Balenciaga leather. There is something about it. But when I say the Balenciaga leather, I mean this sort of soft, crinkly leather. A lot of their new bags now, like the Hourglass and so on, they're quite stiff and firm. So that leather is very tautly stretched over its frame. So that is like other leathers. But this type of leather, there is something about it. Okay, this is all red. So even the fabric here, that's the whip stitch, I think it's called, or the stitch detail on the handles is in the same color. Sometimes the color is different if it's a bag that is a duotone or has a contrasting finish on it. For the most part, the stitching here will be the same color, but because it's fabric and, you know, it gets a lot of wear and tear in terms of holding, picking up and so on, the color tends to fade a little bit, but the condition of mine is excellent. This comes with the silver hardware, as I would have said, no back pocket. This is very intrinsic and very typical of the Balenciagas. The piping, I think it's called, there's no actual piping in there per se, it's just the folded leather. after a while with use, it tends to sort of just buckle and, as the bag sits and so on. And, I tend to be a very structured person in terms of structure in my bags. And sometimes it annoys me. So that's why I haven't ventured into the larger Balenciaga city bags. Although there is one I'm looking at that's a size bigger than this, which is the small. And that one is very much one that you put on the crook of your shoulder. It's got the shorter strap. I'm liking that. But I think I would need to buy some sort of firm insert for that, because I don't like it when the bags just collapse on themselves. What else have I said? Have I told you? It's got the gorgeous, typical Balenciaga buckle effect. The studs have this nice sort of ridged finish, and inside, I'll just take out the stuffing. Inside here is my dust bag, the Balenciaga dust bag, and I have the strap stored inside. Inside the dust bag, there is the Rebens little QR code that came with it. There is also the Rebens. When you buy from this company, they put like this tag around the bag. It's a bit like the fashion file, and once you cut it, it's yours type of thing. So there's that. And what does that say? Returns will only be accepted if this tag remains intact and merchandise is in original condition. And then there was a little Ziploc bag. Inside the Ziploc bag, there are a few more things. One of them is the little red leather swatch. So people always wonder what's the purpose of this, but I think it's to match. So if you need to ever get your bag re-dyed or something, or patched, or if you want to buy something to match, I guess, I don't know. That's what that is. The details about the bag. Oh, it's a 2013 bag. There's a lot of French words there. Agneau, which I think is lambskin. And then it says Pleine Fleur Aniline. I don't know what that means. I should double check. But anyway, that's that. Then here, these are the Balenciaga cards, the original swing tag that it came with, and the Controllato card. And then this here is the Rebens authenticity card, and on the back there is their own sort of number that they put on it to indicate that they've authenticated the bag and so on. So the Balenciaga hardware is interesting because they have this particular clasp fixture which is quite firm, and some people have complained about it because it feels a little bit chintzy, but I'm happy with mine, I must admit. I don't have a problem with it. This is a adjustable and detachable strap. It has the very comfortable shoulder keeper here, and obviously because I've stored it rolled up, it's sort of like folding down a little bit. But I wear this bag crossbody mostly, just like that. And I'm happy with it. It sits right at my hip, and I have it positioned on the third or fourth hole. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have it on the second hole here. So it's not too short, not too long. I am 5'2", and it sits at the right length for me. The thing about the Balenciagas that some people don't like are the 2 zip ends. Hold please. And some people wear them with the zip ends poking out like that. I must admit, sometimes I will have one poking out because it's got a little bit of that biker jacket look about it with the zips and the flaps everywhere. Sometimes I tuck them in, so I might have one out and one in, depends. It does have the 2 zippers that meet in the middle like that. There's a little zipper pull. And the one thing about the Balenciaga, or one way to help you try to authenticate a Balenciaga bag, is to look underneath the zippers, and it should say Lampo, because Lampo is the original zipper manufacturer for Balenciaga. Inside is all black. There is one zippered pocket here on the inside. There is the Balenciaga leather flap, and underneath is the serial code. So it's a gorgeous bag, and as you can see, it's very soft. So you could buy, or I could buy an insert for this, but when I put enough of my things in there, I find that I don't really need that insert. Although, who knows, maybe just to keep it in storage, I'll probably invest in a proper insert. Now, the larger city bags tend to have the long leather strips that hang from it, sort of like makes me think of a catfish with the, you know, the whiskers type of thing. Not that the fish's bits are called the whiskers, but you know what I mean. Wear and tear on this bag has been very good, although I did notice the last time I used it that, and it could be because of the nature of the way this bag sits and folds and moves, I am noticing just a little bit of wear here on the glazing, just there, and a little bit in the center there, because I suppose the way the bag moves, see how it's got that inherent fold just there and there, you will see that my glazing is becoming a little bit damaged. For the most part, I love using this bag. I'm just careful with it. It is a little bit susceptible to color transfer, so there's a tiny bit here, just here, but I love Balenciaga. This is my I think I have 3 pieces in total of Balenciaga. There's this one, there's a pouch that I shared with you some time ago. Hold please. Yeah, this is the clutch that I unboxed a little while ago in sort of like a salmon color, and as you'll see, the leather is, let's do this right, shall we? The leather is pretty much the same. This one feels a little bit smoother, this one feels a little bit more crepey. And then the third piece of Balenciaga I have is like one of their leather cuffs with the gold hardware on it, the studs. Oh, and I've just remembered I have another Balenciaga bag, and that's my Cabas tote. So that's that. Now the story behind this bag, it's very interesting. I purchased this from a website called Rebans. I've purchased a few things from them, and they sell a combination of both new and pre-loved. And this one was a pre-loved piece, and at the time, I think it was 1,000 and something, and then there was some type of sale, and I think I had some loyalty dollars, you know, when you purchase with companies, they do that. And so I think I picked this up for about 800. But at the time, I was using one of those generic credit card, debit card things that you just buy from the post office, and you just put money on it, and like a voucher in a way. And I had money that I had received for my birthday from my family, so I was trying to purchase that on through their website using the card and PayPal. So first of all, actually no, I'm wrong. First of all, I tried to purchase using PayPal, but there was a problem. For some reason, the company wasn't using PayPal anymore, so I couldn't go through PayPal. So then I thought, okay, well, how do I do it? I didn't use, at the time I was married, I didn't use our joint card or anything like that. My husband at the time did not want to use credit cards online, and fair enough, I understood. So I remember ringing the company and saying to them, I really want to purchase this bag. Why can't I purchase this bag? I've purchased from you before using PayPal. Why aren't you using PayPal anymore? And apparently something to do with fees and how PayPal charges them a lot. And there's a lot of changes happening in and with PayPal. So it's not as protective as it used to be, especially for sellers, I'd say, because, you know, as a buyer, I guess it really does go in batting hard for you. But as a buyer and you're an honest, no, as a seller and you're an honest seller, some people will try to scam you, and PayPal doesn't always come through to support and protect you. But anyway, so that's why they weren't using PayPal, I think. So I said, okay, well, how can I purchase this bag? Basically, because they're based in Sydney, I'm in Melbourne. And long story short, I ended up using that sort of debit voucher card, and it wouldn't go through on their system. And then when I had called the voucher company, there was something wrong with locking my funds, and they had to keep it sitting there for a couple of weeks before they could release the money. It was a rigmarole, let me tell you. So every time I use this bag, I always think of that. But it just makes me appreciate it more to some extent, because I just think, wow, I went through a fair bit for that bag, for this bag, and I still got it. And it was meant to be, because it didn't sell in the meantime, especially at the reduced price. So I thought to myself, I just have to get this bag. And red, you know, funnily enough, red is one of my favorite colors. And yet I don't wear or use red anywhere near as much as I used to. I don't know if it's an age-related thing, Anyway, so I knew that it was meant to be. I had to have this bag. So I persisted, and then finally I rang. I said, again, I rang again. And I said, look, here's my card number. The money's on there. Like, literally, take my money, process it, and send me the bloody bag. And that's how it went. I don't know why it took me weeks to get to that point of ringing them and saying, here, take the card number and take my money. But eventually I did. So that is the story behind my Balenciaga mini city. Do you have a mini city? Let me know. What are your thoughts about it? I love the colors of Balenciaga. Balenciaga colors, they're not as rich and saturated, say, as Hermes colors, but they're up there in terms of colors. There's one I'm looking at in mint. Oh my God, that color's beautiful. But anyway, that's that. So let me know what you think of this little bag story. It's not as dramatic or exciting as some of my other stories, but I look forward to reading your comments as always. Take care, everybody. God bless, and I'll see you next time.